everybody. My name is Susan, and I'm your certified functional nutritionist, and I am with Ahava FN. And I am so excited today because we have Michelle with us, and she's the owner of Omaha Bakery.
The Omaha Bakery, yes.
Yes, the Omaha Bakery. So we are so thrilled to have her. She has supplied the Omaha community area and surrounding area with lots of treats and bakery goods. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about Omaha Bakery? How did it come about? And just a little bit your story. I do know you had brought some keto products into that, and let's just share a little bit on how that kind of evolved.
Sure. So the Omaha Bakery, we're a lot of brownies bakery in Fremont for a little over 7 years, and then we moved to Omaha and have been in business a little over 7 years. So we've been in business almost 15 years. And the Omaha Bakery, the concept was always to provide something for everyone, whatever that looked like. And in 2018, my health was failing me, and I realized I needed to make some changes.
What was happening with your health?
So the left side of my body, I feel, I thought I had a pinch sciatica type thing going on. Mm-hmm. And my leg would go numb, and I couldn't stand for any long period of time. And so, like, just standing for 15 minutes was extremely painful. I lived with chronic pain for 10 years, and I got to the point where I couldn't do my job, and I couldn't be the grandma that I wanted to be, the mom I wanted to be. I couldn't be the business owner that I needed to be. All the things that made me feel valuable, I wasn't able to do. And I just got really depressed and said, you know, if this is my best life, I can't live it. Yeah. And so depression sunk in, and I gave up. And then I had somebody just say, well, why don't you try keto? And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. But I said, what does it involve? And they said, no sugar. And I said, but I'm a baker. And they said, no flour. And I said, but I'm a baker. And
what is this foreign conversation?
Right,
language that you're talking?
Was totally foreign. I'd never heard of anything like that. Yeah. And this is before, like, keto really kind of got to Omaha, or really became known in Omaha. And in 2018, it was the #1 Googled word in 2018.
Really?
Was
I did not
keto.
Know that. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so I remember when somebody said, well, you should just try keto. And I remember saying, keto Frito, what the heck? Like, seriously? like,
what?
Really? What are we talking about here? So I tried it, and in 3 months I was pain-free. And it ended up that I had inflammation, and it was pinching in my body. Sure. I was on 15 different medications at that time, and I had so much pain that I lived in that I was able to get rid of everything. I was getting injections, going in, and they were putting injections in my back and things. And by doing this, all of that was eliminated. And
so did you get off all of your
meds? Yes,
okay.
I did.
Right. And you're probably having more energy and
yep. Feeling great. So I lost, over a 2-year span, I lost 125 pounds.
Oh, congratulations.
So I lost a whole person for me. I felt like $1 million. Like it just really, clean eating is the key for everything.
So but I'm just curious, how did you incorporate that? I mean, how did you get into that mindset with just, you're dealing with white flour all the time and refined sugar? I mean, that had to have been hard.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was so hard for me to not taste things, because when you're creating new products, you have to try them. And that's when I realized there was a need for baked items that were sugar-free, gluten-free. But keto is so strict that you have to, I had to really dig deep and really, learn everything there was to learn about it, because there were products being produced that weren't real keto. So are you familiar with cartaginin?
I am not.
It's a thickening agent that they put in heavy whipping cream. And that is not clean keto. It will cause you to stall. So I had to read my label and make sure that the cream that I was getting in didn't have carotene in it.
I'm sure it's a little bit more
So-
pricier as
Right.
well. Yeah.
So all of these ingredients, I absorbed everything I could to learn. And when I did that, I felt like, okay, so my mission is to provide something for everybody. And we're missing, if you're on keto or you're on a healthy lifestyle, what do you want? You want what everybody else has.
Sure.
You
sure.
want the treats. So my first couple runs of baking were horrible. Like, it was just
Blah.
the worst thing ever, right? And then I was like, okay, let's go with the things that are my solids. If I make an exceptional regular lemon bar, I'm gonna make a keto healthy one. And I'm gonna just keep it simple. And that's what I did. And my keto lemon bars are wonderful. And the key is fresh juice and zest.
Yeah.
And I did. And so I started baking keto in probably like the end of August, early September.
Of what year?
Of 2018.
Okay.
And by December, I had like this small little part on my display case with maybe 3 or 4 items that were keto, just these bars. And then by Valentine's Day, it was across the whole top level.
So there was a demand.
And, yeah. And then I just kept on doing this. And now I have, at one time I had a whole case
Wow.
full of just keto things.
Wow.
And we went from just making bars to making cookies and cheesecakes and donuts and scones and coffee cakes and pound cake. I mean, you name it, everything. Keto bread, keto pizza dough.
Wow.
Anything that I could do as a regular item, I wanted to create it as a keto item. And the great thing about it is we had so many kids coming in, parents coming in saying, my child has been diagnosed with diabetes and I need a healthy option. And I could say, okay, this bar or this cake or this cheesecake or this donut, they're not gonna know the difference.
Yeah.
They're gonna say, this is great.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna know that they're eating something healthy.
Yeah, sure.
So, and then that keto also worked for anybody gluten-free. So we had to educate our customers, okay, so you're gluten-free, but you're not sugar-free. You want something that tastes like it has enough sugar,
Yep.
but at the same time, it's gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
So we could make recommendations on that, and our business just blew up. And prior to COVID, we were shipping all over the United States, and we had people in other countries saying,
Wow.
will you ship to us? And of course we couldn't.
Yeah.
Then COVID happened, and that 2-day priority became 8 days, and product got ruined, and we were having to give people their money back,
Yeah.
and now we no longer ship.
Yeah. Yeah, that's,
So-
yeah. And I'm sorry about that. That's really tough for small business
It
owners.
is.
Yeah.
It is. It was hard.
With the, just to backtrack with the keto, which is a great mission to have people, help them as they're stepping into keto. But so you had the keto lifestyle.
I did for
and
2
then,
years.
For 2 years. Then what happened, because there's, I'm not a big subscriber to, as a functional nutritionist, to a diet, because I believe people have, everybody's an individual. I'm like, there's like
Yeah.
not one snowflake that is the same, not one person's body is the same. And I believe that to somebody step into keto, I think it's a great Kickstarter, but for sustaining, I don't know if it's the best option for everybody.
Right.
And that's what happened to you, right? Your body did not respond long-term well on keto. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
So there's a lot of different things that like when you go on keto, there's your body, like you still have all those cravings and everything, and they say
How did you
it's-
deal with those cravings, by the way?
Well, I always say that when a craving comes on, if you drink a glass of water and wait 15 minutes, most likely it'll be over, right? And so that's really kind of how I did that. Most cravings are sweet, and
Sure.
so in moderation, the healthy options
Yep.
would take care of that. It didn't help wanting the crackers and the chips and
The crunch
like,
and- yep.
yeah, that texture.
Yep.
And even though there was options out there, it just wasn't quite the same. For me, being on keto, it had some reverse effects for me, and I started losing a lot of hair, like, and it's not, there's no growth on the like I have receding hairline, and I have different things like that going on for me, and we have been trying to figure out, like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
And it started like just right after I started keto.
Really?
And like it's definitely, as a woman, that is not something that I want.
No, of course not.
At the rate that it's going, you know, soon I won't have any hair if this
Yeah.
keeps on going. So
And you notice that after a month or so after starting keto. Yeah.
actually, like the intensity of it really got bad within like about 5 to 6 months is when it started progressing.
Yeah.
And so I took a break. I took a break for a couple reasons. One, I was going on vacation and I really wanted to just enjoy some of the things that I hadn't been enjoying. So I took that little break, and I didn't eat a lot of like bread or pasta or rice, and I still don't. I don't eat a lot of sweets, but if I want something, I eat it, but I think it through before I eat.
You're mindful eating.
I'm very mindful of what I'm eating. So for the last year and a half, I haven't been on keto. If I feel like my weight's going up a little bit, then I'll do like a quick
tighten it
cleanse.
up.
Yep, and then I tighten it back up, and I try to really focus on that. But it's hard because when you live that lifestyle,
The keto lifestyle.
or any lifestyle
Sure.
that is restricted,
Paleo or very restrictive, yes.
when you live that lifestyle, there's a certain amount of guilt that goes along with if you cheat, if you gain. Like, the mind plays so many games on us.
So you dealt with shame.
Oh, horribly.
Why is that, do you think?
Because people, they see you as this person that's lost weight, and you're like, oh, she's done so great.
Oh.
And then in the eye, somebody says, oh, she's gained weight. Oh. So there's a lot
Judgment.
Yeah, lots of judgment. Women were, like, there's so many things that go on, with menopause and all these things.
Oh, yeah.
And then weight gain fluctuates different times of the year or whatever, and that judgment creates that self-doubt. And when you're losing, you go on this high where you just feel like crazy
Like,
good.
I'm in there, I'm in the game,
I've got it
figured
all,
out.
I've got it all. And
Yeah.
then as soon as you start to gain, that affects the mind so much. So
Do you think that judgment and shame is, or if like on a scale from 1 to 10 compared to your previous lifestyle? I mean, do you think it was more intense?
yes,
Really?
it is.
Okay.
So it was more intense in the sense of what others are going to think of me.
Okay.
And are they going to see me as a failure?
Ah,
Because nobody wants to feel like a
No.
failure.
no.
Right?
Yes.
So before, I was overweight and miserable and full of pain, right? And there was that level of depression. Now it's, am I a failure, right?
Yeah. So you're struggling with that.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm constantly thinking, okay, I need to be more strict, but I've got to find what works. And I have to find out, like, just different health issues that I've been struggling with. And once we get those narrowed down, then I'll be able to find what works for me.
You know what? This is a fantastic story, your story, and it needs to be shared with the public out there because, as I said, I'm not a big proponent of you got to go this certain lifestyle and this certain lifestyle. My biggest mantra is just pay attention to what you're putting into your mouth. be mindful how your body reacts and absorbs that food, because it's not really what you eat, it's how your body absorbs the food. True. And how your body reacts to that. And there's not one thing, because keto could work for somebody, but it may not work for somebody else. And personally, it drives me crazy where people are like, keto, 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 or paleo, paleo, paleo. And I'm like, well, you don't know, because that may not be good for somebody else. And that's what it seems like. It worked for you, which I think paleo keto is a great starter.
It is.
But then
now I've got to find a better balance.
You have to find a better balance, exactly.
And it's so true. Like, if you eat something and you feel bloated or you feel miserable, then don't eat it.
Yeah.
Or know that if I eat this, like, I can't process dairy very well. So if I eat ice cream, I'm going to be really sick, really sick. That didn't used to be the case for me, but that's developed. So if I'm going to eat ice cream, it better be really good.
Yeah. If you're going to sacrifice
if I'm
that,
going to sacrifice something, I mean, and I love it, but is it worth it?
Yes.
Right? So I have to constantly, my brain asks me, is this item worth it? Whether it's something processed, is it, you know, I love Chinese food like everybody else, but that rice is horrible for me. Is the rice worth it? Right? The easiest way to eat healthy, I feel, is not to go out to eat.
Yes.
And there are and so when I make
And why do you say that? Because that's a really good topic, because I agree with you. But a lot of people are like, I don't have time to make food at home, and so it's a quick fix to go out. But I agree, you really have to pay attention, because the restaurants will hold, I mean, the fats that they have and they make the foods in is very unhealthy. So right?
So, yes. So I believe people, myself included, the reason we go out to eat is convenience, right? Because we've gotten, our lives are so busy, and our kids are busy, and all of these things, we're busy, life's busy. And so we typically go out to places that are maybe not the better choices when we need a quick fix for the moment to feed our family, right? So those,
or you're tired, and you're just so tired, you're like, I don't want to go.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yep.
To cook healthy, you need to plan ahead.
Yes.
You need to make sure you have everything ready, and you don't have time to go to the grocery store that day.
Yeah.
So you've got to do a lot of planning throughout the week. Okay, this is what I'm making this day, this day, this day, this day. And so it isn't like, okay, so there are restaurants that prepare unhealthy things, but I feel like our society is built around bread and pasta and rice.
Yes.
And those are fillers. And those
cheaper items.
Right.
Yes.
And so when you go and you eat those items, those are the fillers that fill us, right? So
you feel satisfied because you're full.
Yeah,
Yes.
or your meal looks bigger because you've got this load of fries on it, right? Because
visually.
Right. So if you just got a little vegetable and a grilled chicken and a small salad, you'd be like,
what?
What
is
how
this?
How did I just spin that? I could have made that at home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I truly think that to live a healthy lifestyle, there's a lot of planning that goes into it.
I would agree with that, yes.
And I included, like, if I don't want to cook and I don't have time to plan it, I'm probably making an unhealthy choice.
Yes. We are going to continue this show with Michelle next week, because this conversation is so exciting and lively, and we just want more information from Michelle. So hopefully we'll see you next week.
Where can you watch KPAO Community Television? You know, the channel with all of the local shows. If you live in the Omaha area, Cox Channel 22 HD is your place. If you prefer streaming, go to kpaoTVOmaha.org. And now, if you have the Apple TV box, grab our app and watch us there. KPAO on cable, streaming live, and now on Apple TV.
Cheryl goes to dialysis 3 days a week. Lately, she's been feeling weak, tired, dizzy, cold, and out of breath. At first, she was unsure of the cause of these symptoms. Luckily, she came across the Doctor Conversation Guide for Anemia on kidneyfund.org and talked to her doctor about her symptoms. Cheryl's doctor explained that the majority of patients on dialysis have anemia for a variety of reasons. Ultimately, it is caused by not having enough red blood cells in your body. Cheryl's doctor was happy to share several treatment options and recommend other ways to improve her anemia so that Cheryl can feel like herself again. Visit kidneyfund.org/anemia-ESRD, download our free Doctor Conversation Guide, and talk with your doctor or another member of your healthcare team to find out more about your anemia symptoms and treatment options.
KPAO Community Television. It has something new.
Okay, let's talk. What are we making today? Because we're using peppers.
All of your favorite shows
For the dish, I'm Pam Weeks.
are available no matter where you are.
And Marjorie, it's so good to see you.
KPAO on the go. Go to kpaoTVOmaha.org. All of your favorites now streaming.
Hi everybody, my name is Susan and I'm with Ahava FN and I'm your functional nutritionist, and this is Sensible Substitutes. And it's very distressing, but in today's world there are 6 out of 10 people who have a chronic condition. And if we have 4 out of 10 people who have 2 chronic conditions. And in Omaha, Nebraska, the leading chronic conditions that lead into a disease is cardiovascular disease. So what our mission is here today is to help you step into a healthy, vibrant lifestyle through baby steps. And how to do baby steps is just to create sensible substitutions, one by one, until you get to the goal that you want. And so today we're going to talk about oils. And we have bad oils and we have good oils. Those bad oils create a lot of havoc inside your body. It can create oxidation, which can create free radicals, which can lead to disease, like cardiovascular disease. And we want to avoid them. And some of those are vegetable oil, canola oil, there is seed oils like sunflower oils. I want you to go to your kitchen and cabinets and just go get rid of all of them. They're not worth having. I mean, oils we cook with, we use in dressings, and those type of oils, they are so refined, they provide no nutritional benefits to your body, so you can help your body heal. And they're cheap, and they have a very high threshold where the oil doesn't break down.